Hi, it's Wednesday. So I'm not sure if anyone else is feeling a lot of bullshit coming up, but I sure know I am. I feel there's a lot of lower chakra stuff shaking loose right now. I've been experiencing some tightness and soreness in like my hips and low back, and a lot of old physical symptoms coming back. I've used to have breathing issues and things going on with my diaphragm, amongst some other stuff, and just all these weird negative thoughts coming up that I thought I was over this. It's coming back up, and the last little remnants of this gunk coming through. I think a lot of people are experiencing that where there's things coming up or they're still here and not letting go, and letting its grip off of you. Wondering what the heck is this? It's not that you're doing anything in particular wrong. It's that I'm being shown like you're in a room, right? And there's always been light in this room, but there's maybe some dark corners. And now there's even more light in this room, right? We're getting flooded with all these amazing DNA activations and energies and beautiful solar activity. And we're seeing all the corners where maybe it was a little bit darker in those corners. The light wasn't quite reaching there. And we're seeing that little bit of gunk that's been there for like forever, eons. And we got to really work to clean that out. You got to get the Q-tip out, a little scrubby, and like really get in there. But for overall, everything's great. Everything's really bright. It's wonderful. But there's this last little bit, like the light has won. The battle's over. Okay, the light's won. I know it may not feel or seem that way, right? But this little residual gunk is coming up. And the reason it feels so gunky is because we're used to all this light around us. And we've grown so acclimated to that we're not noticing, or sort of we're really noticing sort of the contrast, like there's that gunk sitting there and it's being brought to our attention. So maybe you think you've addressed this before, and you have. This is the last little bit, these last little remnants, right? As the darkness dies off. And I don't even like calling it the darkness, because even the darkness is ascending in its own right. And the darkness is a part of who we are. It has gotten us and served us up to this point here where we are. So there is an element of gratitude that needs to be shared with that portion of ourselves. It could be seen as the less bright part of ourselves. And the reason that I don't necessarily like thinking of the darkness as like this dark evil, us versus them, dark versus light, is because, I mean, if you think about the higher vibrational beings or energies that come down to assist us, we, in a sense, are a lower vibration compared to them. So we'd be darker energy, but they're still giving us unconditional love and support and helping us along our journey. And so in that, the darker parts of ourselves or the less bright parts of ourselves are looking for ascension as well as us. And so it's up to us to also model and to carry out that gratitude for those dark bits and pieces. So as tricky and as difficult and as dire and exhausting as this might be right now, it is so, so, so important that you start learning how to hold this energy where you are the one providing the unconditional love to those parts of yourself. Only you can fully integrate and harness that. You can look outside of yourself for a mirror. You can look outside of yourself to see how other people are doing that, but only you can actually hold, embody, and embrace how you're going to do that. So look around. If you see people that are handling things differently than you, see how that's working for them. Maybe try that on and see if it works for you as well. There's not really a wrong way to access healing. There's many, many different ways to do that, and you need to do with what resonates for you. But right now, a lot of lower chakra stuff is really being cleaned out. Like it's the last little bit. So again, it's going to feel uncomfortable, but it's already won. The battle's won. The war's, it's done, but we're just getting that last little bit, right? So we're just acclimating that last little bit part of ourselves into that higher vibrational state. And what's going to happen is, as we all ascend and, and keep raising our vibration, we're going to start seeing more and more light. So the room is full of bright light. It's going to keep getting brighter or changing in some way. There's always going to be a part that is a little less bright than the brightest part, right? So we're always reaching back or bringing back or up those other parts of us that maybe are a little less bright all the time. But this one just feels really intense because we're at like a threshold of like going to like another room. It's almost like there's like a door that's going to open, and like the house is getting bigger, the room's getting bigger, or the curtain's going to open and more light's going to flood in. We're going to go outside for the first time, sort of thing. That's what it feels like. So the scenery is going to change. We are going to construct a totally new way of being, and you're invited to start harnessing that and embodying that through how you take care of yourself, how you heal yourself, and how you handle the things that are coming at you. How are you going to reconstruct your life? What would you like to see happen that is different? You need to start living and embodying that. And you can fake it till you make it. Feed that subliminal consciousness, that subliminal programming. Get those messages in, that I am healed, I am whole, I am complete, I am love, I am light. Whatever the circumstance is, will reveal itself to me. The right way to move through this will reveal itself to me, or this does not belong to me. This is not mine. Whatever you need to say to yourself as you go to sleep at night, first thing you say to yourself when you wake up in the morning, start feeding that subconscious of yours. Start reprogramming the software that you have. And even if you're not fully believing it, you just keep layering that in, and eventually it gets down into the deeper levels and layers of yourself. And then you'll start fully embodying that, right? So put your subconscious to work. Your conscious mind doesn't have to do that work necessarily, but start reprogramming that part of you. All right, I'm going to draw a card for you all today. It's from the Healing Waters Oracle deck from Rebecca Campbell. And let's ask a question. What is the purpose or reason behind this lower chakra cleanse that some of us might be experiencing right now? Okay, I just gotta set them off over here because it's hard. I'm sitting in my bed. All right, our card today says, into the unknown, underworld, depth, courage, facing your fears. So there it is. Right, so in regards to why we're experiencing this lower chakra cleanse, the underworld, right? That's again going into those deep, dark corners, going back down. If you've seen my previous videos last week or the week before, where we're taking a deeper dive into things, right? We've got to slowly surface so we can acclimate to the change of the pressure. Right, we're going to the underworld and we're bringing parts of ourselves that maybe aren't so light back up with us. It feels heavy when you're carrying it back up to the light, but as it comes to light, it starts healing. It starts looking around. It can see, a different way of being and existing. So we're going down into that underworld, and it may feel uncomfortable. There might be a lot of pressure. It's really deep and dark in that water, but it's going to pay off. So that's where the underworld and the depth part of the card comes in. The courage is the fact that you're fucking here and as a human doing this. Like, you got to be a badass biddy to decide to incarnate as a human and have this veil where you don't remember anything, what you truly are, and have to blindly remember it. And then on top of that, maybe you're a way shower, just anchoring light, and helping other people as you fumble along as well. And it feels like it's just like we're all like the blind leading the blind sometimes. But this is a very courageous thing to do. And it's so healing, and it's so good for our higher soul or higher aspect of ourselves, the oversoul. So it's just fucking wild that we're even here. So the fact that we're doing that and going through all these deep feelings in other realms and dimensions, you don't have these feelings like we do in the deepness, and how you can feel them, multiple feelings at the same time. And just to have that experience on the palette is very, when I say it helps the soul to grow so much more. And it's almost like a fast track, it's like a master's course. like you're getting your like doctorate PhD in being an experienced soul. Like it's faster. So by doing this journey, you're fucking courageous being here and facing your fears. That's a huge one, right? Especially with the lower chakras. You're here to remove those templates and really face the fear. All the things in our lower chakras, right? They are maybe some that the lower the root chakras are detrimental in any way, but typically they house more of the primal parts of ourselves, right? Which is that fear template. I call it a template because I feel like a template is something you can take off and you can make a new template and make it whatever you want. You don't have to use this, it's like a lens that we view the world with. Like we're looking at the world through this template of fear. This is the world. This is the template. The lack of confidence in ourselves, or the things we tell ourselves that maybe aren't true, but we've somehow embodied, and we're telling ourselves like, I'm stuck because of XYZ and I can't do this. And, I have a certain identity, and in order to comply with this identity that I've boxed myself into, I have to do ABC, or else I'm a terrible person and I'm worthless. And, my value is tied up in this. And just these things that we really trap ourselves in, we're really being brought up. And that's why we're going through this lower chakra cleanse. As we see the deconstruction of things around us, it's going to start happening in us. And that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, because you are in control of it. This isn't like a toxic relationship where someone breaks it down and builds you back up the way they want you. This is your journey to reconstruct your life, reignite the fire in your soul, and take back your power, right? Your power is being handed back to you, but it's going to feel like you got to do a lot of work for it, because it's something you've had to dig down and find again. We're bringing it back from the past essentially, but I don't want to get into the whole time construct thing right now, but you're bringing it back. I feel that this was a little bit kind of all over. I'm hoping I've pulled a thread through this that weaves it together for you. If you have questions about what I'm talking about, or would like me to explain or expand further, I very much welcome the dialogue, because I find it hard to make these short. This is a short video, it's 12 minutes long already, but I want to make them short, but I want to make them accessible, and I want to give people an enriched deep dive. I don't want to do these videos where I'm just doing it, people are doing it for the likes and get the grabbing your attention so you stop scrolling. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for you to have a more enriched and empowered journey. And if I can help facilitate that through my own experiences as another human, going through their shit too, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to try to do it in a way that gives you that extra little bit that is more than the surface. I want to meet you where you're at, but I also want to take you a bit further and deeper, and maybe challenge you to see things from a different or higher perspective. And I also welcome you to share your insights as well, because there's many lenses with which we can view this world, right? We're all living in our own realities. So I think it's great for us that we all lift each other up and offer our resources to each other and share how we view things, because maybe there's other ways that might resonate with other people that need to be shared. And this is the platform. I welcome it. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.